What's preventing this golfer from getting consistent ball first contact and hitting it towards his intended target more consistently? So when I take a look at the shaft being parallel with the ground, we're going to take a look and just reference where the hands were and where they've now gone as a result of finishing the takeaway. You can see that they have now worked out in this direction here as they are to the right of that line. And why that's important to recognize is because at this position here in the golf swing, that's when we're going to start to see this club shaft get too horizontal. And that's a very common pattern when the hands work out too much in the takeaway, because it's going to apply a force to the shaft that makes it too laid off at the top of the backswing. So if we compare where his feet are pointing compared to where his shaft is pointing, you can see they are in two completely different directions. That club shaft is pointing a lot more towards the left compared to where his target line is. And if you're someone wanting your golf swing analyzed just like this one here, comment or DM me the word analysis on Instagram for your chance to get it analyzed. So what I think we need to improve on is I want this club shaft to be pointing a lot more straight down towards the target line. That's going to be important because what we're going to see in the downswing is we're going to see this early extension occur when he transitions that club into the downswing and then gets into the hitting zone. So as he works the club down, it actually stays in a relatively shallow positioning. And if you just paused it in there, you would think it's a pretty good positioning. But the reason why is because he's early extending to make that happen. So you can see now where the posture is, it's very upright compared to where he started. And so when we're looking at that, we have to understand that the early extension is going to shallow the club shaft, but it's only shallowing the club shaft in a position where it gets somewhat neutral, but it's having to compensate because of the early extension occurring or the pelvis thrusting towards the target. So instead, what I would like to see is at the top of the backswing here, we get this club shaft pointing down towards the target line. And what that's going to do is that's going to allow this club shaft to actually work towards shallow instead of working towards steep in the downswing. And that's going to allow him to then keep his butt on this wall and then actually rotate his hips and his chest through the hitting zone without having to compensate the pelvis with what's happening there and throwing that right arm at the golf ball. So that would be the only thing that I'd work on. I would pick apart the takeaway, work on trying to get it a little bit more inside with the club head being more out so that you can get the club shaft to be steeper on the way back and therefore shallow the club shaft on the way down. So I hope that helps, mate.